trying. Alright, it's on.
And I'm gonna need a third set of hands to get that last bucket with me. I've run out of hands.
I can't see it.
Breathe in. This is gonna rotate counterclockwise.
No, breathe out, breathe out. Just, you don't get to breathe during this process.
No.
I'm like 40% now.
Rotate that counterclockwise. Other way, counterclockwise.
Anti-clockwise.
I can't even see it.
One buckle came out. See, this is, and people wonder, why does the Army not use this anymore?
I hate that buckle.
But it was definitely better than the first American harness version.
Yes.
Beats getting thrown out of the aircraft in a box full of straw.
We just had a uniform with a bunch of springs on
Yep.
it. Out of bounds.
And we have the Sten gun.
Oh, you're getting a light one. You're being so nice.
That would go in a pocket, usually in his leg pocket, which he does not have accessible to him right now. He doesn't wear. If you don't know how the Sten gun works, rotate the magazine housing to the side. Take the stock off. And this is joy, thread it under the straps.
And we've done this both ways. We've done it under the parachute, and I've done it with the one without the furniture on the inside under the webbing.
But the reason for this is, unlike when you jump with stuff in a bag, we know for sure this is going to stay connected to you.
How if it's just underneath the webbing?
Because that webbing is not coming off your body.
Okay.
It's going to get real tight when the parachute opens.
I was gonna say it's not gonna slide left and right.
No.
If you left any slack in your harness, it will be gone as soon as the parachute inflates.
Now you can imagine how
You doing
fun this
all right,
is
Will?
for the paratrooper.
I'm doing good.
Now you're starting to get the experience and understand why this was not easy work.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, you good?
No, we did skip one step.
If that was enough, then we're gonna throw in a leg bag.
That actually should have been hooked through there.
Yeah, well, you can just fold it over there.
Yep.
So that would have been tagged into the harness through this collar.
And you're doing this around 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then you go out on this like completely dew-covered grassy area and sit there with like 50 other guys waiting for
So hold up,
you.
okay.
Yep. Parachute's a little heavy, but I'll manage.
Again, imagine if you actually had all of the kit.
And this is and I have an engine
So the infield would have gone in the drop container.
Say again?
The infield would have come in your CLE, right?
No, some of them jump with the Brennan or their Enfield and a Belize.
Yeah, or mortars.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing that would go in the leg bags, and that's one of the reasons why they had problems on D-Day, is when they went in the water, they jettisoned their leg bags.
This way, that's the handbrake. Just make sure that you kind of know where that is.
Now you'll notice there's no reserve parachute. British didn't have room for a reserve parachute on the front, so they designed their parachute to be more reliable. Okay, so you jump out.
Yeah, they're also pushing them out at 800 feet, so even if you had a reserve parachute, it wasn't going to do you any good.
All right. You are going to need to get down here and secure. There's a white tape right here. All right. You're holding this brake and you're squeezing. That controls how slowly the line comes out.
So let's go through the first thing. I don't know if we want to go through the whole getting out of the airplane,
All
getting
right.
under canopy. So the first thing we would do when you drop out of the airplane is there's we call them the 5 points of performance. They haven't changed much since World War I. The first one is to exit the plane in a good aerodynamic body shape, to have a good exit through the plane, and then you're supposed to count 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. If you haven't felt the opening shock after 3,000, if you're an American, it's time to start thinking about your reserve. If you're a Brit or Canadian paratrooper, it's time to start making your final arrangements. So, having that happen, the first thing you do is look up to make sure that you had a good canopy. Boom, we feel the opening shock. Will, you look up, you make sure you got a good canopy, and then the next thing you're going to do is release your leg bag. Grab the handbrake.
And then pull the white cord while you're squeezing the rope through the handbrake.
And while you do that, you need help. Yep, there you go.
Pull, jerk that all the way up. That takes those those cones and pins, and this is just going to play out. And as you're squeezing and releasing, you're letting this go down gently. And now this is going to swing below you. Beautiful thing is if it's night, about 1 second before you hit the ground, you're going to hear, and your parachute's going to slow down just a touch.
And you're going to feel that weight release off of your harness because now it's sitting on the ground. So it was tugging you down. You can feel that release. You all good so far?
Yep.
Okay, so you hit the ground, ba-doom, ba-doom.
Now,
Do some people, when they take off their parachute, fall forward?
what's that?
Do some people, like, when they take off their parachute, just
When they
fall
take
forward?
off the parachute.
Not normally.
I'm like,
Okay, well, first of all, we would have hit the deck and executed a parachute landing fall. So we'd be lying on the ground.
Okay.
And we can go into that stuff, but essentially that's the tuck and roll that you always see. You hit 5 points of contact on your body, the ball of your foot, your calf, thigh, your butt, your pull-up muscle, and you roll your momentum off. So once you've done that, now this again takes a couple folks. So get a hand on the stem now. This is done. We're not going to worry about that. The bag's on the ground. Grab the gun.
And with the other hand, you're
Hit the
going
match
to
box. Somebody's got to be holding the parachute when this happens because it's going to release the harness.
Okay, you're going to turn it clockwise and slap the shit out of it. Yep. And bang it. Bang it. And now all these straps come loose,
Yep. Now shimmy out of the riser or shimmy out of the harness as best you can.
all keeping a hand on the stem gun. Now you just sort of shimmy out of the rest of it. You only need one hand on the stem gun.
Or pull the gun out. That might help. Keep that other strap loose from there.
Remember, this parachute's trying to inflate and kill you. So you want to shimmy out of it.
So this doesn't release the leg straps.
This releases the leg straps and there's 4 straps. This releases 3 of them simultaneously.
Good. You hang on to the stem. Now you should be able to step out of there.
Now, you're on the ground. The first thing you want to do is get dangerous. Now, we don't have it in here, but when we dropped, and I'll make sure Merlin's got it for MTA, there is a cover plate that substitutes for the stock in here so that it can be fired without the stock. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to straighten your magazine well, cock it,
We should have tucked this in a smock pocket.
yeah, and put your magazine in before you do anything else at this point. Now you can defend yourself. So, do you need to shoot at the second? No. All right. So you got some time. You'll take that cover plate off. You'll put the stock in. Your first priority is always to get dangerous. Now you take off the smock.
Pop those buttons.
Because remember, if you were under fire right now, you could have run to the woods wearing the
Just
smock.
Yep.
Just shrug that off and drop it.
And then you're going to take
Dump
that
your small pack.
unsling the small pack from the front, turn it around, put it on your back. This also helps when you help. And if you're not familiar, these clips go right into the top of the basic pouches here. Get yourself hooked up.
That's a lot of stuff to remember. And remember, you,
See where that is?
as paratroopers, you've been taught this well enough that you don't have to think it when
Turn
you're
that thing
going
almost
through.
upside down.
You hit the ground, you roll, you do it immediately.
To the forward, you got it. That's it. Same thing on the other side.
Prepping the equipment beforehand is key, because trying to fix it when you're in the middle of it, no bueno.
what they're saying about the tacticals and working in your gear and that sort of thing is important, because this is where you figure out, hey, this doesn't fit you, you know why? Because it's actually making me fit. See, this is the time where you figure out what's comfy and where you need to move stuff. All right, questions, thoughts, issues, comments, concerns, irrational fears.
Paul will be there to take lead on this exercise, but we want everybody to be generally familiar with it.
And I'm not going to be at MTA, so whoever's doing that, hopefully they'll be here that weekend.
The weekend
I'm sorry, it's
before.
gonna be Reading, not Reading. But anywho, we'll figure out how to do some tuning up when we figure out who those folks are.
Okay, I could there's some weekends I might be able to get up here for, maybe I can make it the Memorial Day weekend. No, that's ready. Shit.
Jordy, you
Just a weird question.
Well,
The oversmock with the two grenades in the pockets, that was kinda like a standard thing to do?
Yeah, that was standard parachute rigging for all British airborne.
Did you try to take the grenades if you didn't use them?
Yeah, you would take, you're a paratrooper, you're not gonna leave anything useful
I
behind.
assumed as much, but you know,
Yeah.
you shut it off and like, well crap, like run away.
If you leave those grenades on the drop zone, that is not bad, because
Yeah.
presumably you filled your pockets so full with grenades already.
Yeah.
Do you have room for 2 more grenades?
Stick them wherever they fit.
Guys would leave food behind to carry more ammo. I mean, France is full of food.
Probably better than the 24-hour rations.
But if y'all want to come up here and take a look as to how this mechanically is set up here, this is the part that screws people up, is they don't know how the equipment's rigged. Care of the parachute, it can't be exposed to damp.
If it starts raining, put it in its case.
Yeah. Yeah, that goes over your boot.
That is exactly what that is.